Chapter 51. Don't say those words to any man. Be clear about this. I wanted to drug Gu Jingze, not you. Lin Che got angrier the more she thought about it. Little did she notice that her words had turned Gu Jingze's handsome face stone cold. Say that again. Gu Jingze growled suddenly. Lin Che thought something was not right with his voice. She turned around to see his face all sinisterly dark and icy as he inched closer towards her. Lin Che panicked. Right, it was his blood brother she was talking about. He should not be trifled with either. Lin Che hastily said, "That's not what I meant. I didn't really want to drug him. I only heard from others that the drug would make people fall asleep. I was only planning to take a few pictures and leave. Who knew I'd get duped too and you'd become so beastly after eating that?" Beastly. Gu Jingze's face lightened. Even though he was mad that she would rather drug Gu Jingze, her words somehow inexplicably eased some of his anger. Smiling slightly, he said, "Very beastly." Lin Che was stunned again. Her mouth was agape, revealing a set of perfect white teeth. Well. Feeling a strong sense of masculinity slowly approaching, it seemed for a moment that it had already tightly enveloped her. She felt like Gu Jingze was unconsciously getting closer and closer. She could even feel his breath grazing her cheek. His slender fingers held up her chin as he looked down at her and smirked. Lin Che said, "Yes, you were very beastly, were you not?" "Of course, that's a compliment. For all we know, it might have been because of the drug, but..." Gu Jingze's expression darkened. This stupid woman. She really did not know how to talk. Lin Che asked, "You can't be mad over something like this, right? Or is something else the matter? Is your illness acting up?" She noticed that his eyes looked strange, burning so hot that it was as if he could burn down people with his stare. As if he was possessed, Gu Jingze's dark pupils moved down to her. He lowered his head to look at her slightly moving lips. Her tongue looked delicate and lovable. Her lips were red and radiant against her beautiful, bright skin. Lin Che looked at him who seemed to be getting lost in his thoughts. She felt like she was being sucked in by him. Her feet were planted firmly on the ground and she did not want to move. The more she thought about getting away, the more she could not. His rough fingertips gently brushed across her lips. Looking into her bright and clear eyes, he said, "Let me tell you. You can't go around complimenting a man that he's beastly. Huh. Even if it's a fact. Quote ellipsis quote. This will easily cause him to misunderstand. Do you get it?" He tapped her lips lightly. Lin Che could only feel her lips get numb. Quickly pushing Gu Jingze away, she turned around and snorted before running inside. Closing the door behind her, she tried to calm herself down. Thinking of how seductive Gu Jingze was, her heart almost wanted to jump out. Did he not know that a man's seduction could be so deadly? Especially if it was such a sexy man like him. Lin Che thought, she was just a normal girl who had a recent experience. She had needs too. What was she supposed to do with him openly seducing her like that? It took a long time for Lin Che to return back to normal. The next day. Lin Che's scene was being filmed intensively. They were rushing to do a good job so it could be aired in time. It was definitely going to improve ratings. Thus, the filming was intense those few days. Lin Che saw Gu Jingze enter from afar. She thought about what happened the previous day and felt too guilty to raise her head. However, Gu Jingze had already spotted her and was smiling at her as if nothing happened. Lin Che's heart was pounding as she sat there and gulped down water when she heard a voice from above, "Hey, what's going on with you? You don't even want to see me anymore." Lin Che almost spit out the water in her mouth. She raised her head to look at Gu Jingze. There's nothing wrong with me." Gu Jingze saw guilt written all over her face. Looking deeply at her, he sat down and replied, "Hey, are you really married? You don't look like it at all. You're way too young." Lin Che thought of what happened the night before and the rubbish texts that damn Gu Jingze sent. She hated him so much, but she could only say guiltily, "Sorry, I was too agitated yesterday and it made me say all those nasty stuff that I didn't mean to say. I feel bad about it. I'm really married and I don't think age matters when it comes to marriage. I think it's more about when you meet the right person." Gu Jingyu hesitated. Looking at Lin Che, he sighed and nodded, all right. If it is that way, I won't make things hard for you. I wish you the best, but am I really a gigolo? Lin Che shook her head immediately, no, no. Of course you're not. Gu Jingyu frowned and said, so it's because I'm not your type. That's why you pretended not to see me. It's really because I'm married, so I don't take notice of other guys. I only feel respect and admiration for you and nothing else. You're like my dad. You're someone I truly look up to. Really, Lin Che did not want to tarnish his impression of her, so she begged him not to get upset over this matter. She tried her best to appease him. Seeing how exaggerated and fake she was, it was almost laughable. Yet, it was not detestable. Gu Jingyu could only shake his head silently. I don't want to be your dad. Gu Jingyu said, relax, I will delete that Weibo. I will also not bring this up again so you don't need to avoid me because of this. However, I'm really curious about your husband. Just how great is he to make you fall in love with him? He must be very mature and stable for you to want to marry him at such a young age. Lin Che thought, he should go ask his own second brother how he could say such shameless things. Come to think about it, Gu Jingyu was really much more mature and stable than Gu Jingze. There's nothing really great, you'll be able to see him sooner or later. Okay, Gu Jingyu patted her shoulder as he smiled at her. After that, Gu Jingyu soon deleted his Weibo post. The company followed with a statement declaring that that was not a confession, but an expression of his feelings and personal thoughts. Gu Jingyu and Lin Che were just good friends who wished the public not to sabotage their friendship. Chapter 52. Take off your pants and let me take a look. The reactions of the outside world diverged greatly. Some people wanted to watch Lin Che make a fool out of herself because Gu Jingyu had still denied any romance between them. However, others felt that although he had said they were not dating, he also said that Lin Che was his friend. In the past, if anyone took advantage of Gu Jingyu to create hype and cook up a scandal, he would definitely show no mercy and smack them in the face. But this time, Gu Jingyu was very mild and had no intention of smacking her in the face at all. Before she had finished filming her scenes, Lin Che returned home. She saw Gu Jingze sitting there with his back as straight as a ramrod while he looked at his computer. Gu Jingze seemed to be a man who could always hold himself straight at all times. However, it was also because of this that he appeared extremely rigid and his stature was fatally appealing. When Lin Che entered, she stopped in her tracks. She looked at Gu Jingze's pair of slender fingers. They looked very suited to dance on the piano and travel over the piano keys. They looked as graceful as a distinguished ballet. She could not help but fall into a slight daze as she continued to look. There was a saying that men were the most handsome when they were serious. This was even more so when it came to Gu Jingze, who was already ridiculously handsome. It was only when Gu Jingze raised his head and saw Lin Che standing at the door that he abruptly called out, "Are you dumb, Lin Che?" She stood at the entrance thinking about God knows what, even laughing out loud in her daze. Gu Jingze thought, he had really never met someone more dazed than her. But when he saw the webpage he was viewing on his computer display news that Gu Jingyu had already denied the romance, the corners of his mouth uncontrollably raised a little. As he looked at Lin Che, she was also much more pleasing to the eye. Thus, he smiled and waved his hand, "Don't stand there blankly. Come in," he said after closing the webpage. Lin Che smiled in embarrassment. She did not think that she would actually look at a man to the point where she fell into a daze. Her ears were heating up and she did not really dare to look at Gu Jingze's profound and sensual eyes. She quickly said, "Oh, I'm feeling a little unwell. I'll go in first and rest." Unwell? Gu Jingze's brow furrowed in an instant. The smile that was initially on his face also followed suit and hardened. Seeing Lin Che walk further inside, he also hurried after her. "What happened, Lin Che? Do you feel unwell anywhere?" Upon seeing Gu Jingze walk towards her, Lin Che panicked for a moment. She said randomly, "It's nothing. I'm probably just very tired." Gu Jingze followed her all the way into the bedroom. He looked at Lin Che and said, "Is it because your leg injury hasn't healed?" Although quite some time had passed, she had been working a little too hard at her job recently. She went out to film every day and worked deep into the night, only returning very late. While the wound was not big, it was at an important area. Take off your pants. Let me take a look and see if there's something wrong with your wound. Without giving her the opportunity to speak, Gu Jingze squatted down and started trying to remove Lin Che's pants. Apart from the times when she participated in events or wore her costume, when Lin Che usually went out, she always liked to wear a simple pair of jeans and sneakers. Right now, her jeans clung to her body so it was impossible to tell what exactly was wrong with her leg. Gu Jingze was not thinking about anything else either, he was just momentarily anxious when he asked her to remove her pants. But in an instant, a red flush spread over Lin Che's face and all the way down her neck. Remove what pants? A big man like him. On the other hand, seeing as Lin Che did not move for a long time, without further ado, Gu Jingze anxiously began to help her remove her pants. Quickly remove your pants so I can take a look. As he said this, his large hands started grabbing upwards. He reined in the band of her jeans and started pulling it down. Lin Che instantly got anxious. She held his hand down in one swift motion. With her face red, she yelled, "Gu Jingze, are you crazy? I'm fine. Why do I need to take off my pants?" Gu Jingze said, "How can I not take a look? If you feel unwell, just tell me. The major artery there is not a joke." However, when he raised his head, he came face to face with Lin Che's thoroughly flushed small face. At this moment, her narrow and small face looked like a completely ripened tomato as if it would explode with one pinch. It was only then that Gu Jingze realized that the hand that was held down was currently clutching her pants. His expression twitched and some embarrassment also showed on his face. "Then just remove it. I want to look at the wound. It's not like I'm trying to do something else. What are you getting anxious for?" he said while concealing the embarrassment on his face. Lin Che's breath stopped up her throat. She looked at him and said, "Even then, I can't remove my pants either. I'm not wearing anything underneath. Hey, I'm your husband anyway. It's no big deal for me to look either. Didn't you say so yourself before? It's not like I haven't seen it before." Quote. "But what did you say? You're not wearing anything underneath." Upon hearing this, Gu Jingze thought that something was off. His brow furrowed in an instant. Didn't that mean that underneath was? Lin Che's face turned red yet again. "No, I'm saying, I'm only wearing a pair of underwear." Gu Jingze looked at her pants and said in a frustrated tone, "In that case, the areas that have to be covered are all covered. There is nothing that I shouldn't see. Do you think I want to look at your leg?" Lin Che said, "If you don't want to look, then forget it. I didn't say that I would let you look either. Furthermore, it's not because of my leg injury. I'm just tired. Can you go out and let me rest for a bit? I don't want you to sleep here tonight. You'll cause too much a disturbance and I won't be able to sleep well." Gu Jingze looked at her in confusion. "I don't snore though and I'm so much more well behaved in my sleep than you are. How would I disturb you? Your presence is a disturbance. In short, can I sleep alone today? If we sometimes sleep in separate rooms, I reckon your family won't say anything either. It's not like every married couple sticks together every day." Although Gu Jingze found it weird, seeing as Lin Che was this anxious, he thought that it possible that she was really not too used to living together with him. Perhaps in these few days, she had been fed up for some reason and only had an outburst today because she was really tired. Thus, he thought deeply for a while before saying, "In that case, all right. I'll go out and sleep first today. You have a good rest." Seeing Gu Jingze say this, she only heaved a sigh of relief when he really went to take a blanket and walked out. Seriously. Lin Che slumped onto the bed. But she thought to herself, this Gu Jingze was truly an evildoer. Lin Che thought, perhaps it was because she had really gotten to that age where she could no longer control her messy hormones. It was why when she faced Gu Jingze, she drooled at the thought of him, her face turned red, and her heart palpitated, all for no reason. Luckily, in the few days after that, she was busy keeping up with the schedule, her feet barely touching the ground. She spent more time staying with the production team than at home. Thus, she did not have time to care about her problem with Gu Jingze. Filming for the television series finally ended. Gu Jingze generously said that he would treat everyone to a night of fun together at the hotel. They would not return until they were drunk, and if they collapsed, they could just stay overnight at the hotel. In short, they could go completely crazy for once. Thus, Lin Che asked Yu Minmin to go together as she wanted to bring sister Yu along with her to have some fun. Yu Minmin immediately thought, if she went, she would even be able to butter up to the director and the others, so she happily agreed right away. On the way there, as Yu Minmin was driving, she said to Lin Che, if we get famous in the future, we'll change our car to a celebrity van too. Lin Che was still a small actress right now. Putting aside talk of a celebrity van, Lin Che did not even have a car. Lin Che was also very grateful to Yu Minmin. She drove Lin Che personally to and fro everywhere, regardless of what it was for. Yu Minmin said, the place where Gu Jingze is entertaining guests this time seems to be a clubhouse owned by the Gu family. I wonder if we'll meet Gu Jingze or someone like that. Pitui. Lin Che spat out instantly. Yu Minmin said, what happened to you? Lin Che said, what do you want to meet Gu Jingze for? Yu Minmin said, of course, it's to butter up to him a bit. Your sister Yu loves clinging on to the rich the most. Since there's such a great chance, I definitely can't miss it. Chapter 53. Closing Party. Lin Che looked at Yu Minmin speechlessly. After spending so much time with Yu Minmin, she felt that although Yu Minmin was snobbish, she was not actually very unlikable. Perhaps it was because the two of them both tended to openly show their snobbery. She felt that Yu Minmin was not pretentious and did not try to defend herself either, which was why she felt that Yu Minmin was not unlikable. Although Yu Minmin did not treat her extremely well in the past, she did not actually treat her very badly either. It was just that Lin Che was not popular. Naturally, she did not have so many opportunities. Right now, Lin Che could be considered one of the talents who she was focusing on cultivating, so the relationship between the two had begun to improve greatly. Very soon after, they arrived at the clubhouse that Gu Jingze had spoken about. From the outside, they could see that this was not a typical clubhouse. Instead, it looked like a resort clubhouse that was fully equipped with amenities. Underground, there was an entertainment venue, and above the ground, there was a hotel. They could eat, sing, play games and go to the bar all at one go. Observing from the outside, it was a high-rise building that took up a large ground area and made one instantly feel luxurious and classy. People from the production team had all arrived in groups of 2 or 3. They were mutually congratulated each other and celebrated the completion of filming for the television series. Lin Che brought Yu Minmin along with her to sit at a place where it was not too crowded. They chatted leisurely and casually before sensing the enthusiastic sounds that presently exploded from around them when Gu Jingze came. Lin Che also quickly lifted her hands to applaud. However, she saw Gu Jingze greeting the crowd before directly coming towards her. Lin Che's confusion showed on her face. She looked at Gu Jingze and felt slightly strange. However, Gu Jingze sat directly beside Lin Che, his face completely calm. Lin Che said, why did you sit here? There are special seats over there for lead actors and important people in the production team. Why did he run over here? Gu Jingze looked at her. It's quiet here. I like the quiet. Why? Alright, as long as you're happy. It was still Yu Minmin's first time sitting together with a top celebrity like this. She could not help but show her slight jitters. After all, although there were so many celebrities these days, there were only a few of these A-listers. Gu Jingze saw her and tilted his head to smile too. Yu Minmin's face showed a flattered expression and she quickly smiled at him as well. After glancing at her, Gu Jingze continued to start up a conversation with Lin Che. Lin Che could not reject it even if she wanted to. Initially, she felt like it was nothing, but when she saw the astonished looks that everyone was sending their way, Lin Che felt a little too embarrassed. She anxiously wanted to get away. When Lin Li came in, with one look, she unexpectedly saw Gu Jingze sitting together with Lin Che. It was difficult for her to not see it too because everyone was looking over there and enthusiastically discussing it. It was too pertinent. She thought of her own well-organized engagement ceremony. Initially, she could have occupied the headlines for several days and be the subject of everyone's envy. However, a single Weibo post from Gu Jingze allowed Lin Che to take advantage of it for a few days. Lin Li just felt her heart seize up in anxiety. Recently, Lin Che had really become arrogant. No matter where she went, she never forgot to attract attention. When Mu Feiren came in, everyone again proceeded to congratulate her together. Lin Che looked at Mu Feiren enviously and said, "It'd be great if I could project an aura as strong as Sister Feiren's one day." Behind Mu Feiren was the crowd of assistants and other staff who came with her. When she came in, she made her presence felt everywhere. Gu Jingze also followed suit and took a glance. He smiled and said, "One day, you'll be able to too." Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze. "You have such a glib tongue. Forget it. That'll take a long time. Believe in yourself. Every path is made from walking step by step." Back in the day, when Feiren was so poor that she couldn't even buy a meal, she didn't think that she would make it till today either. Really, Sister Feiren even had a time like that? Of course. Otherwise, is everyone a celebrity the moment they're born? Of course. There were people who were born with gold spoons in their mouths. Lin Che glanced at Gu Jingze. He and Gu Jingze were both such favored sons of God. They were the subjects of envy from birth. Gu Jingze immediately sensed Lin Che's thoughts. He smiled and said, "You think that you'd be happy if getting food was not a problem when you were young. Everyone has worries of their own, members of the Gu family do too. At the same time that we enjoy these benefits, we also have much more responsibilities weighing on our shoulders. That's why I can't be bothered to go back to the Gu residence. Look at me, I'm so wild and free now, right?" However, Lin Che could not help but think of Gu Jingze. Did Gu Jingze have worries too? It was true. Thinking about it, she knew that it was first from the fact that he had to accept a marriage that he did not desire. Thinking about it, she felt even more sympathetic towards Gu Jingze. He was completely fine but had fallen sick with this illness, making his perfect and great life a regretful one just because of Lin Che. "Hey, I'm speaking to you. Who are you thinking about?" Seeing that her mind had actually begun to wander, Gu Jingze could not help but pinch her nose. "Ayo, no way, I'm not thinking about anyone at all," Lin Che muttered guiltily to herself. At the closing party, everyone enjoyed themselves very much and had a crazy time too. Following the completion of filming, there was going to be a break for some time while production on the television series began in full swing. When broadcasting was about to begin, everyone was going to gather again to promote and generate publicity for the series and begin attending promotional events. Everyone drank a substantial amount of alcohol. Naturally, Lin Che did not skimp on the alcohol either. After returning from her short trip to the washroom, she realized that she could no longer find anyone else. Even Yu Minmin had vanished without a trace. Lin Che could only drink alone there for some time. However, she heard someone say from behind her, "Mr. President actually came." Anyway, in the first place, this is the Gu family's clubhouse. There's nothing wrong with Mr. President coming to his own family's clubhouse. Doesn't this place belong to Gu Jingze? They're biological brothers. Why make the distinction with your own family? You didn't see the spectacle earlier. It's likely that he's staying overnight upstairs, so they enforced even more security and prohibited anyone from entering. At this moment, Gu Jingze returned. Lin Che quickly pulled Gu Jingze aside and asked, "Earlier, they said that the president has arrived. Is he the eldest brother in your family?" Gu Jingze nodded his head nonchalantly. "Yes. Is there anything wrong with him coming?" "It's nothing. Your family is really, each and every brother is a giant among men. So you like it? If you like it, you can join the Gu family too. When that happens, I guarantee that you'll feel a completely different flavor," Gu Jingze said while grinning. Even more afraid of being found out, Lin Che lowered her head. She thought to herself in embarrassment, right now she was one half of a Gu family member. Gu Jingming had been the president for 3 years. His track record had been consistently good and he enjoyed popular support. So naturally, there was always a large crowd of supporters following him wherever he went. Lin Che saw someone running out to see the president. She unknowingly shook her head and remembered something. She asked frantically, "Why is Sister Yu missing?" "Sister Yu, that manager of yours? I don't know. She seemed to be drunk when I saw her earlier. She staggered out unsteadily and didn't return again at all." Gu Jingze arched his eyebrows and said, "Oh, if she went upstairs and bumped into the president, then your fun will end for sure." Lin Che thought gloomily that they would not be that unlucky. Chapter 54. Come over and massage me. Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze. How is Mr. President like? Is he good or bad? Gu Jingming turned out to be his brother. Lin Che thought he should know. Gu Jingze pondered for a while. He smiled and said, well, if you think about it, if he managed to take the position of the president, how simple can he be? That guy's heart is as cold as his appearance. He's a big bad wolf who will do anything for power. Huh, Lin Che was shocked to the bone. The president seemed rather nice on television. Gu Jingze looked at her and laughed loudly. This Lin Che could be so silly sometimes. Okay, I was pulling your leg. He's actually pretty normal. He's just more of a loner. He's a little weird, a little difficult to handle, a little hard to get along with, a little. All of you in the Gu family are the same kind, was he not like Gu Jingze? Hey, what do you mean by all of us? Am I hard to get along with? Oh, no, Lin Che almost slipped her tongue as she laughed dryly. Lin Che tried to call Yu Minmin again but no one picked up. When she called again, the phone had been turned off. Lin Che's heart panicked a little. However, she had no other choice. She wanted to get up and take a look but realized that the entrance had been locked shut. She could only think about what to do as she went back. Yu Minmin was an adult anyway. She would not get lost. When she got home, she quickly looked for Gu Jingze. Although she had been avoiding him recently, she had no choice but to get his help this time. Gu Jingze, how is your relationship with Mr. President? Lin Che asked urgently the moment she entered. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che. We are brothers. What do you think? Lin Che continued hastily, my manager has gone missing since lunch. I can't find her anywhere. I would like to ask for your help to search around and maybe ask Mr. President if she had entered there. The security is tight up there so I couldn't go. I'm afraid that she might have been mistaken for a bad person and his security guards might have apprehended her. So that was the issue. Gu Jingze had been busy with work recently. However, looking at Lin Che made him remember that he had not seen her for a few days. Whenever he was home, she was either still out or staying overnight at the set. The next day, she would leave as early as possible. Now that he thought about it, she seemed to be even busier than himself. Gu Jingze asked, have you been very busy lately? Lin Che was taken aback. Looking at his faint expression and discerning gaze, he seemed suspicious. She dared not to tell him that she was deliberately avoiding him. Lin Che rubbed her ear. Oh, yes. I have been busy filming and preparing for the promotion. Why? Gu Jingze put his hands on the table as he hoisted himself up and looked at Lin Che. Are you asking for my help? Lin Che nodded. Yes. If I help you, how are you going to thank me? Lin Che snorted and said, how would I know? You are rich. You can get anything and everything you want. There's nothing I can give you. Gu Jingze smiled and gestured for her to come over. Lin Che bowed her head and went over in a few quick steps. Gu Jingze asked, do you know how to massage? No. Gu Jingze frowned, you don't know how to do anything. What kind of wife are you? Must I know how to perform so many tasks to be a wife? Lin Che said quietly. Gu Jingze replied, of course. What's the point of having a wife? To spend your money. You earn too much. If I don't use your money, how will you be able to finish spending it all? Lin Che answered shamelessly. Gu Jingze looked at her. I knew you'd come up with such a warped answer. Come, massage my shoulder for a bit. Ask me nicely and I might just consider your request. Lin Che looked at his proud expression and said hatefully, what a wicked capitalist you are. Making use of a poor citizen like me. Gu Jingze said, of course. It's justified. I have to call up Gu Jingming who is the president. You think any normal person would be able to do that? He made it sound like it was such a big deal. Was he not just his brother? Lin Che snorted in contempt, but seeing Gu Jingze tilt his head expectingly and waiting for her service, she could only force herself to walk behind him. Her hands began to press his shoulders. His shoulders were broad. Tracing the fabric, she found his muscles and used her strength to press them. Unknowingly, he took off his shirt to reveal his fully ripped body. His triangular figure could really make a person's nose bleed. Her heart grew hot. Looking at the back of his head, her mind began to wander. She wondered what shampoo he used. His thick, black hair was so clean and smelled so good. Honestly, an elegant man looked good at any angle. The back of his head looked so good. Gu Jingze said, "Go on, why did you stop?" Lin Che snapped out of it. To think she actually got entranced by the back of his head. She continued pressing and said, "Your shoulders are so tense. Are you usually so busy with work?" Gu Jingze replied, "Of course. As a husband, I have to carry the household on my shoulders. Wouldn't they be tense?" Lin Che burst with laughter. Upon hearing her laugh, Gu Jingze laughed too. Her small hands had no strength at all. When she pressed, he could feel her trying her best, but he did not feel relaxed at all. In fact, he felt his shoulders tense up even more. Because her hands were too weak, it made him not want to be pressed. However, he did not want her to let go. Feeling the gentle squeeze, he smiled and said, "Okay, since you were so sincere, hand me the phone." Seeing Gu Jingze finally give in, Lin Che hurriedly handed the phone to him. Gu Jingze made the call, but it did not get through. Gu Jingze said, "Someone is busy." Lin Che's petite face fell. Seeing her worried expression, he did not want to agitate her. "Let me try contacting his secretary." "Ah, really? You're too nice, Gu Jingze." Lin Che's face immediately blossomed. Gu Jingze smiled at her, picked up his phone, and tried again. This time, it went through. "I couldn't get through to Mr. President. Is he busy?" On the other end of the line, someone said quietly, "Second young master, Mr. President is already asleep." Asleep? Indeed. Oh, okay then, can you help me check if you guys had apprehended a drunk woman today? Second young master, we have not. Alright, send my regards to Mr. President. Yes, second young master. I will let him know first thing tomorrow. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir? That will be all. He put down the phone and turned to Lin Che, who was full of anticipation. He told her, "They did not catch anybody. You can relax. Your manager must have gone home herself." Lin Che heaved a sigh of relief. "That scared me to death. I thought I would be finished if I offended the president." Gu Jingze laughed. "Since when were you such a scaredy cat? You dared to insult me, yet you're scared of the president." Chapter 55. He bit her lip. Lin Che immediately objected. "Since when have I insulted you? You drugged me. Don't you think you're lucky that you're still able to stand here in front of me?" Gu Jingze raised his brow. Now he felt appalled at how he fell for something so cliché. Lin Che knew what he meant and her face blushed. We don't know who's the unlucky one yet. I was fine by myself, but my freedom got stolen and I suddenly became somebody's contract wife. I still have to face you daily and tolerate your weird temper." Gu Jingze's face sank. She still felt wronged. Suddenly, he got up and took a step forward. He hovered over Lin Che's petite face and looked at her chin. He reached out to hold it and said, "Come again." His icy breath mixed with his cologne as he got close. Lin Che was scared. Feeling the warmth of his hand, she looked at his face, which became unreadable. Looking at him stiffly, his lips were right in front of her. If she made any movement, she might just touch them. Lin Che quickly pulled his hand away. "Get off me. You're too close. It's getting hot." Her face was hot to the touch. She could not stand it any longer. She stomped on his foot and squirmed her way out from his side. Without turning back, she ran out. Ouch! Gu Jingze winced in pain. This damned Lin Che, she really used all her energy. Gu Jingze frowned at her back. "Well done, Lin Che. As soon as you've made use of me, you're turning your back on me." Lin Che pretended not to hear. She ran into her room and slammed the door shut. She took deep breaths and patted her own chest. That stupid gangster was provoking her again. She had not calmed down when she could hear Gu Jingze's voice right outside. He still had work to do, but after all that ruckus with her, he could not calm down either. He followed her to the bedroom. Lin Che refused to let that gangster in. Leaning against the door, she locked it and said, "You can sleep in the other room." Hearing what she said, Gu Jingze replied sadly, why do I have to sleep in the other room? It's not like you haven't done that before. Anyway, I'm dead tired and I don't want you to disturb me. She was already getting used to it. He replied, this is my bedroom. I can sleep in here if I want to sleep in here. Open the door. No, I just offended you. Who knows what you'll do to me? Lin Che was finding excuses to not let him in. Gu Jingze huffed, you're offending me even more now. Since you're already offended, a little more won't matter. Fine, Lin Che, in that case, aren't you afraid of me taking revenge? Your show will never be played and the company will kill you off quietly. What? Lin Che panicked, Gu Jingze, you're not that unreasonable. We promised not to meddle in each other's affairs after getting married. I have done more unreasonable things than this. Don't forget that I'm a capitalist, Gu Jingze snorted. Lin Che mulled over it and then slowly opened the door a little bit. Little did she expect Gu Jingze to instantly push open the door with his huge palm. Lin Che stumbled a few steps back, shocked. Gu Jingze looked and quickly stretched out his arm to grab her waist, pulling her back to her feet as she almost fell. Lin Che let out a sound and she realized that her face was pressed to his face. She felt her face rapidly burning up as she looked at his characteristically thin lips. Her throat was hoarse and she could not utter a word. She panicked and quickly pushed Gu Jingze away. Gu Jingze frowned as he immediately grabbed her wrist. He stared into her eyes as she tried with all her might not to look back at him. He got more upset as he pulled Lin Che up. Lin Che, what are you doing? I feel like you've been trying to avoid me recently. Lin Che was stunned. He had realized. I'm not avoiding you, she struggled to get loose from his grip. Gu Jingze's grip was tight, not avoiding me. Then why aren't you looking at me or even chasing me out? Lin Che turned around, no way. You're just being paranoid. Gu Jingze pulled Lin Che towards him, his slender fingers pinching her cheek and forcing her to look at him. Then look me in the eye and tell me you're not avoiding me. Lin Che raised her head and stared into his deep-set eyes. Her lips moved but nothing came out. The truth was that she had been avoiding him because each time she saw him, she felt her body grow hot. She quickly said, I'm really not avoiding you. Let me go. She forcefully pried his hand open. Gu Jingze became more vexed. Looking at Lin Che turn away, he followed close behind and asked, what's going on with you, Lin Che? What do you mean what's going on with me? There's nothing going on. I've just been busy lately. Then why did you shut me out? Gu Jingze naturally did not believe her. Because I don't feel comfortable sharing the same room with you. Besides, our marriage is a fraud. If anyone were to ask, we'll just say that our honeymoon period is over and we're both busy. So sometimes, we sleep separately. There's nothing wrong with that. Lin Che, a bad feeling suddenly came over Gu Jingze, are you avoiding me because you have fallen for someone else? It just did not make any sense to Gu Jingze. Lin Che froze. She did not even think of something that far-fetched. Since he already brought it up, Lin Che played along, it's not that I like someone else, but I'm going to have a boyfriend sooner or later. I might as well be abstinent now so I don't waste a good part of my youth. She thought, it was indeed time she got a boyfriend. Growing up, she had never liked nor got close to any guy other than Chin Ching. So looking at Gu Jingze then, she felt all tingly. She must have been so overwhelmed by hormones that she became so boy crazy. Gu Jingze's brows knotted and light flashed in his eyes as he looked at Lin Che's moving lips. He suddenly felt an impulse. Swiftly, he took a step over. One hand held her shoulder while the other braced the back of her head. He went for it and bit her red lip. His tongue swept over her lip and almost subconsciously slipped into her mouth. Lin Che was stunned. She felt his cool, slippery tongue invade her own mouth. For a moment, she was frozen. Gu Jingze was sucking her soul away as he sucked on her tongue and brought it into his mouth. Their lips were locked. Chapter 56. I don't want you to have a boyfriend. Lin Che wanted to evade him again, but she distinctly felt one of his hands push her towards the wall and press her against the ice-cold wall. Gu Jingze's strong body leaned against her and one of his hands had already sneaked in from underneath. The instant their skin touched, Lin Che felt the extreme heat of his hand. Her body began to tremble like a sieve. She felt his calloused fingertips sweep across her skin, leaving her with ripples of shudders in its wake. More than half the length of her clothes had been lifted up. His palm traveled upwards and followed the contours of her body. But then, they heard a phone ringing. Gu Jingze detached his lips from hers. With his breathing fast and irregular, his eyes darted away as he listened to the sound. He silently cursed at this infuriating sound. The taste of her body still remained on his lips. He licked his lips slightly and somewhat wistfully. He did not feel an ounce of disgust. Instead, it made him feel a sense of great longing. Lin Che's eyes were misty. Her cheeks were flushed with 2 patches of red that looked just right. He let go of her. His hand was still hot, and when he took it out, there was a thin sheen of sweat on his palm. After glancing at Lin Che, he then turned his head around and grabbed his phone swiftly. It was a call from Gu Jingming's general secretary. Gu Jingze accepted the call. "What's up?" "Second young master, we were just notified that a woman did indeed barge in. Does second young master know this person?" "Yes, her name is Yu Minmin." "It's definitely her. Second young master, don't worry. She has already been sent back on Mr. President's instructions. Everything should be fine now." "That's good, thank you. Second young master, you don't need to stick to formalities with me. Mr. President sends his regards to you and young madam. Mr. President will return to the GU residence in the next few days. He hopes to meet young madam." "Is that so? All right, he'll have the chance to meet her." He smiled faintly and raised his head to look at Lin Che, who was standing at the side with her clothes still completely disheveled. He put down his phone, looked at Lin Che, and said, "Your manager is fine now." Lin Che looked at him. Any trace of everything that had happened earlier could not be seen on his face at all. It was as if nothing had happened. He was still speaking to her as he looked at her with a crystal-clear gaze. However, she could still recall the very obvious ripples of emotion that he had left on her body earlier. Her anger was uncontrollable and she seriously wanted to toss all concerns aside and kill him. With a stomp of her foot, she yelled at Gu Jingze, "Get out! Stinking rogue!" Quote. Before Gu Jingze had even registered this, Lin Che was already walking towards him in large strides. She rained punches down on his body one after another. Although it did not hurt, it was still irritating. Gu Jingze could only retreat continuously while looking at her going berserk. Even though he could easily hold down her thin and weak body, he did not do so. He allowed himself to be pushed outside like this. Gu Jingze said, "Lin Che, what are you doing?" He grabbed her wrist and looked at her boiling hot cheeks. Lin Che glared at him in indignant resentment. "Rogue, get out!" "Rogue." His brow immediately furrowed. "You're my wife, so everything I did is completely legal, right?" Lin Che was actually a little speechless. Gu Jingze frowned and said, "So, how are you going to look for a boyfriend now? Lie and say that you're not married?" Lin Che was merely contemplating it. She had not put it into action at all yet. But how could she say this now? Gu Jingze stared at her with dark, hooded eyes. He said seriously, "I won't permit you to find a boyfriend now." Lin Che's heart jolted. What did he mean by this? Gu Jingze looked at her. His dark and gloomy expression brought a deep glimmer. "So you'd best give up on this thought." Lin Che still wanted to say something, but Gu Jingze suddenly came closer again. "If you must give it a try, I advise you not to try provoking me again." The lines of his cold, hard jaw were pulled taut. When he came closer to her, a sense of dominance arose spontaneously, instantly causing Lin Che to be on edge and her heart to vigorously thump in her chest. With her eyes darting everywhere, Lin Che quickly pushed him out with all her strength. "Don't think you can come in again and behave like a hoodlum, humph." Saying this, she shut the door with a thud. Just like that, Gu Jingze was shut outside. He looked at the tightly closed bedroom door and drew in a deep breath. He was being shut outside the bedroom by his own wife. "Lin Che, just you wait." Gu Jingze growled lowly at the door. When he saw a maid pass by at the side, he put on a poker face and walked towards the guest bedroom, mentally preparing to just put up with it for one night. Lin Che lay on the bed, still feeling an unbearable heat in her face. She tossed and turned but could not sleep. Meanwhile, in the other room, although Gu Jingze had slept on the couch for so long and only now after great difficulty did he get to sleep on the bed, he felt a slight discomfort all over his body. Because Lin Che stayed in the bedroom, there was always a light fragrance lingering vaguely in the bedroom air. It seemed to be the scent exuding from her body, but it was also like the scent of any other girl. On the other hand, there was only the clean and fresh smell of the disinfected blankets in here. Although it did not smell bad, it still made him feel uncomfortable. When he raised his head and instinctively wanted to go and take a look at the woman with an extraordinarily terrible sleeping posture, he could only see the wall. He vaguely felt a little unaccustomed to the environment. He lay there for God knows how long before finally falling asleep. The next day. Following the completion of filming for the television series, Lin Che had to go to the company for a meeting to confirm her future plans. Lin Che arrived at the company bright and early. She saw Yu Minmin with a dispirited expression on her face and hurriedly walked over to ask, "Sister Yu, what did you do yesterday? You suddenly disappeared halfway." A tinge of embarrassment flashed across Yu Minmin's face. She lifted her head and said, "I drank a bit too much." Lin Che said, "I got some people to go over and ask around. They said that you barged into Mr. President's restricted area. Was everything fine?" Yu Minmin gathered up her own hair as she said, "When I went there, Mr. President had obviously not arrived. I don't know how it became a restricted area afterward. Luckily, nothing much happened and they later sent me back home." "Is that so? That's really great. It looks like Mr. President is quite a good person," Lin Che said. Yu Minmin shrugged her shoulders noncommittally. However, she looked more or less a little tired out. Lin Che said, "Coming up next are probably the publicity events." Yu Minmin said, "Yes, they're rushing to broadcast the television series during the summer holidays. Although filming was completed, the real hectic period will arrive after this. You must be prepared. The company may also arrange for you to get some experience and develop speaking skills for when you accept interviews. If you happen to go for promotions together with Gu Jingze, the reporters will definitely catch you and Gu Jingze and ask you all sorts of questions when the time comes. You can't speak recklessly and say the wrong thing." Lin Che said, "Do I have to be interviewed too?" She thought, she was still just a small actress and had never properly been interviewed before. Yu Minmin said, "Of course you have to. You're one of the main characters. Although you're not the lead character, you have quite a number of scenes too. Furthermore, news of you and Gu Jingze now will always be in the headlines." Lin Che thought awkwardly, she had simply been pulled up into the headlines despite having no works. It made her confused as to whether she should be glad or plaintive. Chapter 57. This lass is so likable. Very soon after, the first promotional event was launched. Gu Jingze attended the event together with Lin Che. At the event, Lin Che saw from afar that Lin Li had come along as well. She walked towards them in large strides. A row of assistants and staff followed behind her, giving her an imposing aura. Lin Che currently sat in the shared dressing room. When she momentarily saw Lin Li, she could not help but ask, "She's not doing her makeup. Why did she leave?" The makeup artist looked at Lin Li who had walked past, and smiled. She said, "She's going to the private dressing room. She has a specialized personal makeup artist to do her makeup. Why would she need us?" Oh, Lin Che finally understood. She was a celebrity, of course, she was different from them, the new and unknown artists. Behind her, the other unknown actors with her said in a dissatisfied tone, "She's not that famous either. But why are her treatment and imposing aura comparable to Mu Feiren's?" The makeup artist contoured Lin Che's face while saying, "After all, Lin Li is different. Her family background is obvious and she's also the Qin family's future young madam. She doesn't lack money, so of course, she has an impressive air about her." Lin Che thought that it was very funny. She and Lin Li were undoubtedly both members of the Lin family, but everyone did not know. The Lin family had continuously avoided divulging Lin Che's status as an illegitimate daughter. Lin Che was also really dispensable in the Lin family and was even a detested character. Thus, she too could understand why everyone did not know her family background. Luckily, Lin Che did not care at all either. It was to the point where it would be even more torturous to her if she and Lin Li were to participate in promotions with the label of sisters tacked on them. Lin Che felt at ease as she did her makeup and simultaneously surfed on her Weibo account. The first batch of promotional pictures for the television series had already been released. Everyone's character posters had been beautifully taken and uploaded on various news portals and Weibo pages for advertisement. Lin Che saw the comments below. Some people were indeed unbiased. They looked at Lin Che's character poster and felt that she was very beautiful. But there were people who were bound to be malicious. They wrote directly at the bottom, "She looks horribly ugly." Or they said things like, "She doesn't fit the character's image at all, that nose is obviously fake, at which hospital did she extend her eye corners? Why does it look exactly the same as that person? It's probably from the same doctor." Seeing these comments, Lin Che's blood began to boil. With her phone in her hand, she said gloomily, "How can they say that I had plastic surgery? I'm obviously all natural." She raised her head to ask the makeup artist, "Do I look like I had plastic surgery?" "Yours truly does want to get plastic surgery, but first I need to have money too. Yours truly received a role for the first time. How can I have money to get surgery?" The makeup artist burst out laughing immediately, thinking that this Lin Che was really amusing. Yu Minmin sat at the side eating something and waiting for her to do her makeup. Alright, which rookie debuts without first being scolded? Furthermore, plastic surgery is so easy to get nowadays. But I really can't see people thinking that nose of yours is fake. It's so flat that if you really spent money to do surgery on it, then the hospital's expertise was a little too poor. Lin Che turned her head and whined, "It's not that flat either." Quote. Yu Minmin could not be bothered with her and said to the makeup artist, "Contour her nose a little more. It's too flat. It's so ugly." Just when everyone was having a good time, Gu Jingze was too drawn to the dressing room by the joyful laughter here. "What's happening here?" Gu Jingze asked someone. "It's Lin Che," the manager replied and said, "She chatters everywhere she goes. She's really good at it too, she can build good relations with anyone. She's simple-minded, but her personality is really not bad. It's easy for everyone to like chatting with her and she doesn't act arrogant at all either." Gu Jingze smiled and looked towards her direction. He glanced at Lin Che meaningfully before also walking over in a few steps. "Hey, what are you so happy chatting about?" Gu Jingze said. A few makeup artists and small actors all spaced out slightly when Gu Jingze came. However, they saw that Gu Jingze seemed to be in a good mood. He sat down directly and they also consequently became more at ease. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che. "I heard you laughing from so far away. Your voice is really loud." After gradually getting familiar with Gu Jingze, Lin Che really did not feel that he was as difficult to get along with as everyone said. Instead, he wasn't very pretentious, so she began to become more casual when chatting with him as well. "You don't like the noise? If you dislike it, then go to the private dressing room over there. Why would such a famous person run over here to gather together with us? Hey, how can you not even welcome me? Didn't you see everyone else ushering me in with drums and gongs?" The remaining people all looked at the two of them chatting together like this and could not help but be slightly stunned. Who said that Gu Jingze did not like chatting with the other actors in the cast? Obviously, he was quite amiable. But even the people who knew this were indeed surprised. They knew that Gu Jingze's relationship with Lin Che was really not bad. Otherwise, they would not have this much fun chatting. The moment Lin Li came out, she saw the two of them in the middle, surrounded by others. She did not know what they were chatting about that made the entire shared dressing room appear to be in an extremely merry mood, filled with joyful laughter and cheerful chatter. Lin Li snorted disdainfully. "This Lin Che is so flirtatious." Beside her, a small assistant said, "Not everyone has a natural advantage like Sister Lin Li. She doesn't have money or power, or even a strong family background, much less a wealthy and handsome fiancé like Third Young Master. Of course, she can only depend on her ability to seduce men in order to climb up the social ladder." Hearing the assistant say this, Lin Li felt much more refreshed. Precisely. I can't even be bothered to build good relations with these strange people. Were they even worthy of her? But seeing Gu Jingze have such a good relationship with her, Lin Li did indeed feel unbearably jealous. Very soon, they were starting to make arrangements for the interview at the front. But unexpectedly, when Gu Jingyu went for his interview, he pulled Lin Che along with him too. Lin Che was initially a little reluctant, but the reporters were also extremely happy and immediately coaxed the two of them to accept the interview together. Lin Che stood beside Gu Jingyu. Looking at the numerous reporters surrounding them with microphones lined up in a row, one after another in front of her, she felt immensely complex. During the few months preceding this, she had never thought that she would one day stand in the limelight and be interviewed. But in the mere span of a few months, her world had already undergone an earth-shattering change. However, the reporters below were aggressive. One of them looked at Lin Che and came up immediately to ask, "Lin Che, how do you feel about being put together as a couple with Gu Jingyu in the past?" Lin Che did not expect the reporter to be so straightforward. In that moment, she was unable to respond. However, beside her, Gu Jingyu instantly snatched the microphone and said, "She definitely feels that it was great. After all, it's really an honor to be involved in rumors with a handsome guy like me." Lin Che raised her head gratefully. Gu Jingyu flashed a comforting smile at her as if he was saying that she could rely on him for everything. The reporter said, "Lin Che, did you two meet privately again?" Gu Jingyu snatched the microphone again and said, "How can we meet? Thanks to all of you, we can't even meet at friendly gatherings. I made a friend after such great difficulty. You guys should stop adding to my troubles." In an instant, everyone started roaring with laughter upon being chided by Gu Jingyu. Lin Che truly felt that Gu Jingyu was doing a very good job. Each time the reporters said something, he was always able to change the subject. He made the interview interesting and at the same time, he did not answer too many of the gossipy questions that he did not want to answer as well. Chapter 58. Gu Jingze was angered. The reporter looked. This Gu Jingyu was actually protecting Lin Che. The reporter turned to Lin Che. "Lin Che just began filming and she has already gotten to know such a good senior. Isn't she lucky?" Gu Jingyu could not possibly divert this topic as well. Lin Che smiled and hastily said, "Yes. Senior Gu Jingyu has been very nice to me. He shared with me a lot of his acting experiences." Gu Jingyu asked, "How are you going to repay me, then?" Repay. Lin Che did not expect him to divert the topic yet again. "How can I repay you?" Gu Jingyu replied, "Shouldn't you treat me to a good meal?" Quote. The reporter at the side was going crazy. "You two are going to eat together. She should treat me to a meal obviously." The reporter moved closer to them. Lin Che secretly wanted to crush Gu Jingyu, but on the surface, she could only force herself to say, "Yes, of course. It'll be my treat." Gu Jingyu laughed, "Forget it. Your salary is too low. If you treat me, you're going to end up eating grass. I'm just joking with you, silly girl. You don't have to agree to everything." Lin Che's face dropped. The reporter laughed along. The interview finally ended. Lin Che got down as Gu Jingyu patted her shoulder, and smiled as he said, "You're still such a newbie. Keep working hard." Lin Che thought to herself silently, "If it was not for your meddling, I might have done even better." However, Yu Minmin soon joined them. She smiled and said to Lin Che, "Not a bad performance. Gu Jingyu really took care of you today, talking so much with you and even joking with you." Lin Che asked, "Was he not supposed to make jokes with me?" "Of course he's allowed to. However, Gu Jingyu has never been so lighthearted around a fellow actress. He's usually much better with men and he would completely ignore women. That's why people suspected that he was gay." The very next day after the interview, Lin Che did not expect to find herself in the headlines with Gu Jingyu yet again. This time with Gu Jingyu's protection, the news had all praise for her. On the other side, Lin Li read the report about herself and became furious. There was a huge picture of Gu Jingyu and Lin Che while the picture of her covered only a small corner. She even went all out to wear an expensive, branded skirt so that she could be as dazzling as possible. However, Lin Che's name was so big now and the report only casually included a line mentioning that Lin Li was also starring in the show. That was it. Lin Li was hopping mad. From the table, she forcefully threw the newspaper onto the floor. Beside her, Han Kaiying also did not expect things to turn out like that. She said, what the hell is going on? To think that Lin Che had this much power. Seeing how her daughter was compromised in the article, Han Qiang was also angry. Lin Che must be deliberately outcasting you. Lin Li's face was blood red with anger. Lin Che. Just you wait, humph. Meanwhile, at the GU residence, Lin Che suddenly sneezed. One of the maids hurriedly went over to her. Madam, what happened? Is the air conditioning too cold? Nothing, nothing, Lin Che smiled as she got up with the newspaper in her hand. Gu Jingze had just returned home. Looking at him gleefully, she said, I'm in the headlines for the show's promotions. Gu Jingze saw her grinning widely. He walked over to her and took the newspaper only to see the picture of her and Gu Jingyu together. Lin Che continued, I never thought I'd see the day when I get to be in the headlines. Gu Jingze clenched the newspaper and quietly said, it's not like this is your first time. Lin Che knew Gu Jingze was referring to the rumors previously. That's completely different. That was a rumor. This time, it's because of my work. I'm in the headlines now as an actress. Of course, it's different. Gu Jingze lifted his head. It looks like Jingyu took great care of you. Upon hearing Gu Jingze, Lin Che nodded profusely. Yes, yes. Gu Jingyu took rather good care of me. Sister Yu told me that he's usually not this helpful. Who knew that he could actually be nice? Also, he was so skilled and experienced in handling interviews. No questions fazed him. I never knew that he was not only good at acting, but also good at handling reporters. No wonder he's so famous. Gu Jingze's face soon turned green. Lin Che did not notice and continued dancing around in excitement, admiration all over her face. Gu Jingze got up and threw the newspaper onto the table. Hey, why did you throw my newspaper? Lin Che looked up unhappily. Gu Jingze stopped in his tracks and told the maid, from tomorrow, cancel the subscription of pointless entertainment news like this. Yes, sir. What? Lin Che stood up. Gu Jingze, why not? Gu Jingze replied without turning, I don't like you being flirtatious. Lin Che's face turned black. You. Gu Jingze, you're biased. Acting is not flirtatious, it's an art. You know nothing about it. Gu Jingze huffed and turned around. His dark pupils were prominent in his cold eyes. He said coolly, art is also a form of selling your body. You. Lin Che turned green, capitalist, money grubber, short-tempered, uneducated, uncultured swine. Your whole body stinks of copper. The corners of Gu Jingze's lips curled up. He laughed coldly and shot her down. Don't forget that you're eating and using my stinky copper. Lin Che stood stunned as Gu Jingze called in Qin Hao with a wave of his hand. Gu Jingze said plainly, collect all the entertainment news. Those disgusting rubbish papers mislead the youth. Keeping them around will only cause trouble. Once you're done, replace them with economic news. Yes, sir. Qin Hao looked at Gu Jingze's stiff expression and then squinted at Lin Che before quietly retreating. Lin Che's fingers were shaking as she pointed at Gu Jingze. You're too overbearing. Gu Jingze scoffed coldly. With big strides, he went in. Looking at Gu Jingze's cold back, Lin Che sat down angrily. Her nostrils flared as she looked at the newspaper that had been tossed on the floor. That damned Gu Jingze. He actually called her flirtatious and accused her of misleading the youth. Actors were indeed often misunderstood, especially by capitalists like him who believed that they were not doing anything meaningful. Yes, actors may be overhyped and she had been insulted by many people before. However, she did not expect Gu Jingze to think that way too. This guy was really rotten to the core. Chapter 59. He really left home. At night, Lin Che returned to her room and closed the door. She was not going to let Gu Jingze in. She waited for a while but there was no sound. Quietly, she opened the door and heard Gu Jingze who appeared to be on the phone. Hilling, what's wrong? Upon hearing Mo Hilling's name, Lin Che grew curious and continued eavesdropping. Gu Jingze was holding his phone and listening to Mo Hilling whine. Jingze, I quarreled with my family. I have nowhere to go now. Can you let me stay at your place for a few days? Gu Jingze thought deeply, why did you quarrel with your family? It was because of Forget it. Anyway, I have no place to go now. My mother and father even confiscated my credit cards. Okay, I'll arrange a place for you and go over to find you. Okay, I'll be waiting. Gu Jingze stood there as he made some arrangements. He flexed his wrists and called Qin Hao, prepare the villa at the bay. Hiling needs a place to stay. I'm going over to her now. Yes, sir. Qin Hao saw Gu Jingze's serious expression and dared not say another word. As he retreated, he caught a glimpse of Lin Che and could not help but sympathize with her. Gu Jingze's temper was really something that not everybody could handle. Lin Che watched Gu Jingze walk away. She lingered at the door and silently cursed at him. That damned, half-hearted Gu Jingze. He dared to meet another woman when he already had a wife. When she was done, her heart felt uncomfortable. Actually, Mo Hiling was his real love. Was it not assumed that the one not receiving love was going to be the third party? She was the actual third party. Gu Jingze really left home and did not return that night. Lin Che vaguely heard Gu Jingze mention something about the villa at the bay and imagined him cuddling with Mo Hiling there. Meanwhile, at the villa at the bay, Mo Hiling put down her luggage and happily looked at Gu Jingze. Thank you so much, Jingze. If it wasn't for you, I really wouldn't know what to do. Gu Jingze let the maid take in Mo Hiling's belongings while the two of them sat on the sofa. Hiling, what exactly happened at home? Mo Hiling bit her lower lip. It's nothing big. She stared at the floor and looked pitiful. They weren't approving of us being together all along. Now that they know you're married, they are trying to get me a boyfriend. I objected and we ended up arguing. Gu Jingze gazed deeply at her as he crouched down beside her. Hiling. She had suffered because of him. Mo Hiling raised her head. I am not getting a boyfriend. I want to wait for you, Jingze. There's no happiness in marrying someone I don't love. I won't allow myself to suffer for the rest of my life. She was talking about herself, but at the same time, she was reminding him that he was not with someone he loved and facing her daily. Gu Jingze frowned with unhappiness. However, looking at Mo Hiling, he decided to control his anger. Today, he was not in a good mood. He felt irritated and his heart burned. Even Mo Hiling could tell. From the beginning, Gu Jingze's expression had been as cold as ice and his eyes were like daggers. His mouth had curled downwards unhappily. However, Mo Hiling still felt rather happy. Perhaps he was not happy because of how her family treated her. She had always known he was a strong-willed person. She thought that he must have felt jealous. Mo Hiling slumped against him and looked at him. Jingze, what am I supposed to do? My family will continue trying to force me. I don't even want to go back home anymore these days. Who knows what kind of guy they'll try to set me up with. Gu Jingze turned to her and said plainly, you can stay here as long as you want. Mo Hiling tugged at him and said, are you going to stay with me? Gu Jingze sighed and said without hesitation, Hiling, that won't be right. I'm a married man. Mo Hiling's face fell, but I'm scared to be alone here. I've already delegated 5 maids here. There's a chef in the kitchen and my security guards. Everything is secured. I won't let anything happen here. You can rest assured. No matter how many people are here, they can't compare to you. Mo Hiling looked at him. I don't want to be alone here. I don't feel safe. However, Gu Jingze sat there and didn't say a word. Mo Hiling grew frustrated and looked at him. Or you're thinking of going back to your pretty little wife. That's why you don't want to stay here. Pretty little wife. Gu Jingze's brows knitted again and his eyes flickered. He looked at Mo Hiling. Forget it. I'll stay here. It was not like he had not stayed outside his home before, but he had never stayed in the same room with her. Because of his illness, he could not have physical contact with her. Mo Hiling was exhilarated. She quickly called for supper to be prepared. Her beautiful face brightened up. Seeing how happy Mo Hiling was, Gu Jingze decided to go ahead and stay. He owed Mo Hiling too much. Thus, a small matter like this making Mo Hiling happy also alleviated some of his guilt. Later, they ate their supper and returned to their respective rooms. Gu Jingze was completely uninterested. Mo Hiling wanted to ask him over and see if she could make him stay in her room. However, he never gave her the opportunity to ask and retreated to his own room. Mo Hilling could only stomp her foot and go to her own room. Gu Jingze really did not return home the whole night. Lin Che went out to have her breakfast. There was only one plate of food on the table in the huge hall. She felt moody. Even though there was just one less person, and there were so many servants walking around obliviously, the house suddenly felt empty to her, like something was missing. Soon enough, the company called and excitedly told her about an advertising job. She quickly rushed over. When she arrived, Yu Minmin told her all the details about the advertisement. There would be a lot of viewers. With her endorsement, it would greatly expand her popularity as well. However, she did not know that this good opportunity would lead her into her very first defamation plot. Chapter 60. He was slightly fed up with Mo Hilling. Lin Che walked towards the endorsement company together with Yu Minmin. Lin Che walked while saying, "It's my first time as an endorsement model. I didn't think that I would ever take an advertisement job." Yu Minmin smiled and looked at her. "Now, you're someone with a piece of work. Also, now is your time to rise. Stop thinking that you're just a background actor. You're already an artist with some reputation, you understand?" Lin Che said, "Hee, I'm still just a little unaccustomed to it. I feel like everything happened so quickly. A few months ago, I had nothing at all." Yu Minmin said, "This profession is precisely like that. You can get famous very quickly as long as you can seize the opportunity. However, you must be careful too. This is precisely the period when it's easiest to be suppressed. If something crops up time and you haven't begun to get famous, the company won't waste so much money on saving you. You still don't have social connections of your own, unlike artists who are already stable and can still gradually recover from mishaps. If anything happens during this period, there really won't be any way for you to stand up again, understand?" Yu Minmin spoke much more to Lin Che because she had slowly begun to feel that Lin Che was not that bad. She also hoped that Lin Che could last a long time and become more and more popular. Hearing this, Lin Che nodded her head solemnly. "I understand." Following this, the process of signing the endorsement contract was very smooth. It was only when Lin Che walked out that she coincidentally saw Senmura, a currently famous film star. Outside, a line of people glared at Lin Che and Yu Minmin when they saw them coming out as if they were burning with rage. Senmura had also just gotten popular in the past 2 years and her company was vigorously promoting her. However, the two of them had never crossed paths at all, so Lin Che was a little confused. Yu Minmin pulled her along to leave this place. Yu Minmin said, "Ignore her. This advertisement was initially hers actually, but the endorsement company changed it to you at the last minute. That's why she's in a fit of anger." Lin Che said, "That means that I robbed her of her advertisement." Yu Minmin said, That's technically the case. But in this profession, there's no such thing as stealing roles. You can say that only true capability speaks. The endorsement company took a fancy to your potential to grow, that's why they chose an artist who's rising." "Alright then." That night, Lin Che followed Yu Minmin to dine together with the advertisers. It was necessary to acknowledge their approval of her. In the car, Lin Che called Yu Minmin and asked her where they were to meet. Yu Minmin said, "You go in first. It's room 302. I'll be there soon." Yu Minmin was still in the midst of a traffic jam and was presently anxious. She put down the phone and looked in front again. Images of Gu Jingming on a state visit were playing on a large screen. She could not help but stare blankly. Gu Jingming stood upright, dressed in a suit. On the screen, he appeared very good-natured, but his expression concealed a sternness. Yu Minmin recalled the popular opinion of many towards Gu Jingming. They said that he was an iron-handed president who was adept in dealing with both external and internal political relations of the nation, so he was rooted deeply in the hearts of the people. She spaced out momentarily, but when she regained her senses, she collided head-on with the car in front of hers. She had caused a rear-ended collision. "Damn it," Yu Minmin cursed angrily before quickly getting out of the car. Outside the meeting place, Lin Che made numerous calls to Yu Minmin, but she did not answer. Left with no choice, Lin Che could only enter the private room, the number that Yu Minmin had told her, on her own. However, when she opened the door to the room, she immediately saw the people inside staggering from side to side. They were either lying down or standing crookedly, and all of them looked very strange. However, it was obvious that they were not the people Lin Che was to meet tonight. Lin Che was instantly dumbfounded. She turned around and was about to leave, but someone inside gripped her wrist forcefully. Outside, in the corridor that no one saw, Senmira was holding her phone with a bit of a sly smile at the corners of her lips. She said into the phone, "I've arrived, Lin Li. Thanks for telling me that she's here. Tonight, I'll definitely make it so that she can't leave." Before Lin Che managed to react, she heard the police barging in already. "All of you, freeze. Put down the drugs that are in your hands and stand against the wall, one by one." Drugs. Lin Che began to look around carefully. When she looked at the strange objects all over the room and those bizarre people, she finally understood. A chill slowly began to spread from the bottom of her heart. If an artist got involved with drugs, what did he or she face? It was not like there were no examples before her. Gu Jingze was presently in his office. Mo Hilling's sudden call inevitably interrupted his work once again. He felt a little resentful. Over the past few days, Mo Hilling had been chasing after him relentlessly. She had already been a huge disturbance to his work. Mo Hilling said, "Jingze, you're still not coming over to sleep tonight." After the first day that he stayed there, he felt slightly unwell, so on the second day, he made an excuse that he was busy with work and did not go over again. But then, Mo Hilling began to call relentlessly to ask him about his work matters, making it slightly difficult for him to fend her off. "I'm still a bit busy. Hilling, if you feel bored, I can get Chin Hao to send a car over to pick you up. You can go shopping, I've already instructed someone to leave the card for your use. Otherwise, you can go overseas to shop around. You can take the Gu family's airplane that's always available at home and fly over." "I don't want that. Jingze, what happened? Have you gotten sick of me? Did I cling on to you too tightly? Are you trying to chase me away?" Gu Jingze massaged his brow. "No, you're thinking too much." Chin Hao was still waiting at the side with his hands hanging by his sides. Gu Jingze waved at him and gestured for him to wait for a moment. He said to Mo Hilling over the phone, "I'm going out of town on an official business for a few days. Be obedient, Hilling. When I'm done, I'll give you a call." Mo Hilling's spirits were slightly dampened. Hearing him say this, she could only say, "All right then. I'm hanging up. Love you, Jingze." Mo Hilling could not press him too much either. She was deeply afraid that Gu Jingze would be disgusted with her at this important time now. However, she could not be too far away from him either. Otherwise, Gu Jingze would definitely get together with that little bitch. This worried Mo Hilling immensely too. She could only put down the phone and think viciously about what she should do to own him completely. Gu Jingze was really going overseas. From the side, Chin Hao saw Gu Jingze put down the phone and say, "Sir, the airplane at the private airport has already been prepared. They are currently arranging the time for takeoff with the National Flight Division. The plane can probably take off in about half an hour. Would you like to go to the airport now?" "All right, make some preparations and we'll head to the airport." Gu Jingze stood up and left. Chin Hao recalled Lin Che's matter. He thought that Gu Jingze had ignored Lin Che for quite a few days. "Sir, do we need to inform Madam?" Gu Jingze's face darkened. "There's no need. Lin Che." A few days had passed, but she had not called even once. She was really doing her job and fulfilling her responsibilities as a contractual wife. Meanwhile, at the Special Police Department, Lin Che was being interrogated at the Special Department because she was an artist. "Just confess, Lin Che. You're definitely no artist here and now. You're a criminal. This trick won't work on us." The investigating officer looked at Lin Che scornfully. He hated these artists the most. Although they acted and looked high and mighty, they were all lowly rascals.